part of the issue is they've invested in a couple different players and things didn't pan out, whether it's because of injury or poor performance. But C.J. Mosley and Le'Veon Bell just didn't really pan out, right? And so they had a chance to just cut ties, cut the dead weight, and move on, which is inevitable with a new GM. So then it brings the question, like, okay, if this season is more or less lost, then what are we doing with Sam? And that's my real concern. Obviously, we have a great bond. He's a good friend of mine. We work out together, and I want everything. I want the best for him, and I've lived what he's going through. Their roster right now is no different than what we had in 2012, 2013, or whatever, my last couple of years there. There's no household names. There's nobody, that a defensive coordinator is looking at their offense like, damn, okay, are we going to double this guy? Are we going to roll coverage? Like, what are we going to do? Nobody's doing that. So you can't expect these guys to compete and develop a quarterback with that going on in the building. So now it's, what's best for Sam, what's best for the organization, how bad is his shoulder injury, and I understand why they cut ties with Le'Veon now. I think things are hard enough, but then you're, doing the social media stuff like criticizing play calling or agreeing with criticizing the play calling or however it went down. It's just messy, and in a media market like that, you just don't want that. No, you don't need it anywhere. But if you're in Jacksonville, if you're in somewhere else, it's not the same. Here, it's just a cancer, and you can't have that. It doesn't help you move forward. So I think that was just kind of Joe Douglas sending a message to everybody, like, hey, I understand we're not very good, but that doesn't fly here.
No doubt. I get it too. And I'll just walk through the front door here with you, because again, you're also an analyst, a college football analyst for ESPN. I mean, you know the landscape about everything here, from being a quarterback with the Jets and who's going to be potentially number one overall. I think what they should do is let Sam free. I think they're breaking him. I think he might be broken. He is. I've met him, and I second the emotion. You obviously know him better. He's a great human. He deserves better than this. He's somebody who showed up on his first day of being a Jet. He went to a children's hospital. That's exactly what you want out of a face of a franchise.
Exactly.
But they have nobody around him right now. There is no way to properly evaluate him. He's in danger, personally, I think, out there. And I think they should trade him at this deadline right now. Give him a new spot. Put him in a spot where somebody can get him cheap, and put him in a quarterback room with a real veteran, and let him just sit back and learn and start again somewhere else and draft Trevor Lawrence. I wonder what you think about that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible idea. Actually, I think that'd be great. I just don't know if that will happen, right? Because you still have him. You can exercise the fifth year, right? I believe.
Yes.
Am I correct on timing, right?
You are indeed, sir.
So, I mean, if you can, and it's still not some crazy number, and you can still get the first pick, like, why wouldn't you let those guys compete and then see what happens? Now, I don't think that's the best for Sam. If you have just Sam's best interest in mind, yeah, I think you're right. I think he does go somewhere else where he's going to match up with a coordinator who's going to love to have him. They just get a gift, right in their lap.
No doubt.
And Christmas come early if it happens at the trade deadline. So that would be perfect for him to develop somewhere where they're going to build around him. But if he's constantly looking over his shoulder, especially with a new GM, like I ran into this when they drafted Geno Smith. Like, as soon as Mike Tannenbaum left, there's no promises, there's no guarantees with me, because the guy running the show has no ties to me. And now I'm just another commodity like anybody else. He's not emotionally invested in me. And so that's it. And now Sam's in that position. So you just, like you said, you want the best for him. And I'd love for him to land somewhere where he's appreciated and they build around him, because I know for a fact he has the talent to do it. I've seen him work out with Josh Allen all offseason the last couple of years. And these guys make the same throws. It's just Josh Allen is working with household names. Like, they draft and develop, and then they played the free agent game and won, right? They gambled on free agents and won. Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs, John Brown. Like, the players, then they're drafting players. They have a good running back in Singletary, and they draft Zach Moss from Utah. He's a baller. So, I mean, this is what you want for your quarterback. The Jets just need to take notes on that and figure out how to build around a quarterback. If Trevor Lawrence comes in and has the same situation as Sam, he'll get wasted too. And it's really too bad. It's all about how you build around that guy.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.